born with the silver hair and violet eyes of old Valyria. Alyn and his older brother Adam were the bastard sons of Marilda, captain of the trading ship Mouse, and the grandsons of a shipwright in the village of Hull on the Isle of Driftmark. Marilda claimed their father was the deceased nobleman Sir Laenor Velaryon, son to the Lord of Driftmark, and first husband of Rhaenyra Targaryen when she was heir to the Iron Throne. Yet Laenor was known to prefer the company of men, and so some suspected their true parentage came from Laenor's father, Lord Corlys Velaryon, who may have asked Marilda to lie in order to avoid the wrath of his wife, Rhaenys Targaryen, cousin of the king. During the Dance of the Dragon Civil War in 129 AC, the Black faction of Rhaenyra Targaryen put forth a call for dragon seeds, hoping to find anyone with traces of Valyrian blood so they might attempt to claim a dragon and, if successful, serve in the Queen's army. Seeking to better their lives, Alyn and Adam made the attempt, resulting in the older boy successfully bonding the dragon Seasmoke, while Alyn was unable to locate his first choice Grey Ghost, leading him to try and fail mounting Sheepstealer, who set his cloak aflame. Though Adam helped put out the fire, Alyn was left with permanent scars. Though Alyn failed, Adam's new position as a dragon rider raised the standing of their entire family, causing Lord Corlys Velaryon to publicly embrace them as grandsons, arranging for Adam and Alyn of Hull to be legitimized by Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen. This then allowed Corlys to name Adam Velaryon as heir to Driftmark. Unfortunately, as war between Rhaenyra and her younger brother Aegon II intensified, two of the Dragonseed commoners who claimed dragons for the Black faction betrayed their queen at the First Battle of Tumbleton and went over to the Greens. Enraged by their actions, Rhaenyra ordered all the Dragonseeds arrested, but her Hand of the Queen Corlys Velaryon warned his grandson, allowing him to escape on Seasmoke. Yet Adam could not rest knowing that his name was disgraced and set out to prove his loyalty by descending on enemy forces during the Second Battle of Tumbleton. Though he helped the Blacks achieve victory, Adam and Seasmoke were killed in a three-way battle with the dragon Vermithor and Daeron Targaryen upon Tessarion. Years later, when his bones were finally entombed on Driftmark, his brother Alyn wrote only one word on his epitaph: loyal. With Adam dead and Corlys arrested in King's Landing for helping his heir escape, 15-year-old Alyn was left in command of the large Velaryon fleet. When he learned Queen Rhaenyra was executed on Dragonstone by Aegon II, he prepared to invade the island. However, Corlys was soon released from prison by the Greens and negotiated a deal to join their side, causing Alyn to cancel his plans and instead ferry King Aegon to the capital. But the war was not yet over, as the loyal Black faction lord Cregan Stark descended upon King's Landing with a massive army to avenge their queen. When Aegon II refused abdication to avoid further bloodshed, Corlys and others poisoned him, naming Rhaenyra's son Aegon III as heir. Though the Northmen were hesitant to end the fighting, peace eventually came to Westeros, and when Corlys Velaryon died in 132 AC, Alyn was left his successor, having earned the loyalty of their fleet during the war. Yet his illegitimate birth led his true-born cousins to dispute the inheritance, taking their grievance to King's Landing. King Aegon III chose to confirm Alyn Velaryon as Lord of Driftmark, with two of his cousins given other lands and titles to win their loyalty, while another two refused to accept the decision and attempted to assassinate their new liege. They failed, resulting in one killed and the other sent to the Night's Watch. A dashing, newly made lord, in command of one of the richest houses and most powerful fleets in the Seven Kingdoms, Alyn's ascent continued by marrying Lady Baela Targaryen, an older sister of the king, and by being named Lord Admiral of the Royal Fleet in 133 AC. Despite this, Lord Unwin Peake, Hand of the King, despised young Alyn, and so passed the boy over to instead name his uncle, Gedmund, as commander of the Royal Fleet during a mission to attack the Pirate King Ricalio Rindoon and establish a Westerosi presence on the Stepstones. Though Alyn was ordered to provide support and counsel Sir Gedmund, he instead attacked the Braavosi ships guarding the islands, won the battle on his own, was knighted by the Lord Commander of the King's Guard, and returned to King's Landing a conquering hero with the nickname Oakenfist. Lord Unwin Peake was furious not only because Alyn disobeyed orders, but because his victory upon the sea did little to accomplish their actual objective of securing territory on the Stepstones. Nevertheless, Alyn was treated as a hero by most, and so Unwin sent him on another mission, this one far more dangerous and likely to get him killed. Therefore, Alyn Velaryon set off on the first of 6 great voyages, ordered to defeat the Red Kraken Dalton Greyjoy, who was ravaging the western coast of the continent. In no great hurry to arrive, Oakenfist stopped by the Stepstones to spend time with Recalio Rindoon, then Alejandra Martell in Dorne, as well as Lord Lionel Hightower and the High Septon in Old Town. When finished with his meetings, he finally arrived in the Sunset Sea, where he learned the Red Kraken was murdered in bed by a salt wife, leaving the Ironborn to fight amongst themselves for power. Hailed a hero simply for his presence in the area, Alyn was awarded a golden seahorse. He then left 1/3 of his fleet to protect the Westerlands, before returning home, once again stopping in Dorne to visit his friend Alejandra, with rumors suggesting they were lovers. In Dorne, Alyn was visited by a member of the Rogaire banking family, who claimed that the king's younger brother Viserys, thought to be killed in the Civil War, was alive and living in the city of Lys. Making his way to the island, Alyn agreed to the demands of the Rogaire family, which included a payment of 100,000 golden dragons, and once again returned to King's Landing as a hero. Not only did he accomplish his mission of ending the Ironborn raids in the west, but he also brought back the lost prince Viserys Targaryen to the delight and gratitude of the king and court. Enhancing this moment of glory even further, upon Alyn's return, his wife Baela presented him their firstborn child, Laena Velaryon. Firmly entrenched as one of the most prominent and powerful nobles on the continent, Alyn Oakenfist gained even more combat experience during a war of succession in the Vale, serving with the royal fleet until finally given command to bring them victory. Unfortunately for House Velaryon, they also suffered a severe financial setback under Oakenfist, as much of their wealth was lost when the Rogaire Bank of Lys collapsed. Thus, Alyn set out on great trade missions like his grandfather, far into the east, and restored the wealth of their family. Later in life, Alyn fell in love with Aelena Targaryen, the daughter of King Aegon III, and together had 2 natural children, Jane and John Waters. Though he was born a bastard living among common folk, Alyn Oakenfist Velaryon rose to become one of the most prominent noble lords in the continent, and while he disappeared at sea in 175 AC, he was remembered as one of the greatest heroes of the age.